Hello viewers, welcome to Science TV. My name is Ruth Wairimo, and our sign language interpreter doing the voicing is Wanjangede. And on to our first news item. President William Ruto has once again taken a swipe at the opposition, labeling them as agents of negativity and urging Kenyans to reject their message. The president, speaking at the burial ceremony of Isaac Ichungwah, the father of National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichungwah, also used the platform to reinforce the political connection with the vote-rich Mount Kenya region. In his speech, President Ruto called on citizens to ignore what he termed as naysayers and instead focus on national development. He praised his administration's achievement and insisted that the country is on a path to prosperity, dismissing claims that Kenya is a failing state. The president's address also served as a continuation of his charm offensive in the Mount Kenya region, pledging his continued partnership with the area in the lead-up to the next general election.
We must stop the negativity. We must not stop the naysayers and those who speak negatively about our country. Kenya is not a failed state. Kenya is a great nation. I just want to assure you that as we move this journey, we will move together. I am very confident about the future of our nation.
Mzee Isaac Ichungwah is speaking to us as one of the fathers of the land, the elders of Kenya. He's talking to us that we must be honest.
I refuse to get into ethnic-based politics because I am not raised that way, and it is not the legacy that my father would have wanted to see either in me or in any of our brothers.
He has taken many bullets on my behalf. He has carried huge burdens on my behalf. Burdens that even my own brothers could not.
Our big lesson is to be patriotic, to embrace everybody.
And on to our next news. The International Labour Organization, ILO, in collaboration with civil society groups worldwide, is intensifying efforts to eliminate child labor and create a more just and protective environment for children. The renewed push comes amidst persistent global challenges that continue to drive children into exploitative and hazardous work. The ILO has long been at the forefront of the fight against child labor, guided by its fundamental conversations, particularly Convention number 138 on the minimum age of employment and Convention number 182 on the worst forms of child labor. These treaties provide the legal framework for countries to prohibit and take immediate action to end the most dangerous and exploitative forms of child labor. Civil society organizations, CSOs, are playing a crucial role in the global efforts.
In Kenya, child labor continues to deny millions of children their fundamental rights, considering many children still work in hazardous conditions away from classrooms, exposed to risks that damage their health limit, their potential and entrenched cycles of poverty.
For these children to be exposed in labor work, it means somebody is not doing what they need to do. And if that somebody has done, if somebody was to do, if everybody was to play their role, a man to play their role as it were, in the culture. Mahali mzee ni mzee na mama ni mama.
So our blueprint teaches us that justice is not just about resolving disputes, but also about transforming our society in tangible and people-centered ways. The judiciary has a critical role to play, but we cannot walk this path alone. Eliminating child labor requires a whole of society approach. It demands the involvement of Parliament to strengthen and update legal protections. It requires the executive to implement policies and allocate resources. It needs the private sector to commit to ethical business practices. It calls for civil society and communities to monitor, advocate, and protect our children through
The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, and the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, will jointly monitor the upcoming police recruitment to ensure the process is transparent and fair. The unprecedented collaboration aims to curb corruption and other irregularities that have plagued the past recruitment exercises. The two anti-graft and oversight bodies have announced that they will have officers at all recruitment centers across the country to observe the process from start to finish. EACC's role will focus on preventing and investigating any acts of corruption, such as officers or candidates attempting to bribe their way into the service. IPOA, on the other hand, will ensure the process adheres to legal and professional standards, safeguarding against human rights abuses and ensuring fairness in the selection process.
Your Honor, the three pistols I've just mentioned cannot have.
We have agreed that we'll work together as the two commissions to see how we can monitor whatever is happening within the recruitment of police officers that is soon upcoming and even the future ones, so that the members of the public can participate in a free, fair and transparent recruitment.
The recruitment gives an opportunity to the leadership of the police and to the governance institutions to ensure that the intake, the recruitment of the 10,000 officers is done in a more transparent and efficient manner to ensure that there is public confidence in the exercise.
Every year when we do surveys, both locally and internationally, the police service seems to come up at the top of that survey list of the most corrupt institutions. And this is something that we do not celebrate.
And moving on, a forensic ballistics expert told a Nairobi court on Monday that the three pistols submitted for analysis in the Rex Masai death inquest did not fire the bullet casing found at the scene. The testimony from Alex Mutindi Mwandawiro, a ballistics expert at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations Laboratory, contradicts initial police claims regarding the fatal shooting. During his testimony, Mwandawiro stated that he received 3 pistols for examination, but none of them matched the bullet casing presented by the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. Furthermore, Mwandawiro's findings directly challenged the former Central Police Station commander's claims that only rubber bullets were used during the protests where Rex Masai was shot. The expert stated that fragments he examined were from a live round and not a rubber bullet.
Your Honor, the 3 pistols I've just mentioned cannot have fired exhibit IPOA A1. Cannot have fired exhibit IPOA A1 because their caliber is 9x19 millimeters. There was a pistol which was mentioned in the memo form by IPOA, which was not submitted for examination. The jacketing was copper. Yeah, and the bullet could either be steel or lead. So because it was missing, I could not determine the element of it.
That's the site that was serving the subscriber. Yes, so it means then the subscriber was in the proximity of that site.
Okay.
Yes.
Was in the proximity of St.
Mary's.
Good. Then the next one?
Kencom.
And hundreds of public servants recently declared ghost workers by the Siaya County government took to the streets Monday to protest their dismissal and demand a transparent audit of the recruitment process. More than 300 young workers, including nurses, clinicians, and public health officers, marched through Siaya town. They first presented a petition at the Siaya County Assembly before proceeding to Governor James Orengo's office, where they found the gates locked. The workers are challenging the county's claims that the appointment letters were fake. Speaking to the media outside the county assembly, Clinical Officer Emily Nabwala Anyango accused Wilfred Nyagundi, the CEO of Siaya County Public Service Board, of lying about the involvement of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. She further claimed that despite the allegations, no health worker has been contacted by the DCI for a statement, and no one has been arrested or charged with forgery.
We served with diligence and compassion, treating patients, preventing outbreaks, and saving lives. Yet, instead of gratitude, we have been met with humiliation, betrayal, and the outrageous label of ghost workers by the very government that deployed us.
We hereby demand for the following without delay. 1, a public apology from a governor of Siaya for the humiliation and defamation suffered by 382 healthcare workers. 2, immediate payment of 8 months' salary arrears on to each of the 382 workers. Number 3, unconditional restatement of all 382 workers, not to settle a few or other original positions.
Hii wiki yote ambayo tunaenda kuwa assembly ni maneno ya watoto wetu. In any case assembly taamua mkuwa invited, msiogope. Mkuje tu hapa museme ukweli. Alafu tutakaa chini kama assembly kwa vile watoto wetu hawezi teseka na sisi tuko.
The Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, EPRA, has announced a slight reduction in fuel prices, marking the second consecutive month of cuts. In Nairobi, the price of a litre of super petrol will now retail at 184.52 Kenya shillings, down to the previous 185.31 Kenya shillings. The price of diesel has now also seen a minor decrease, now selling at 171.47 Kenya shillings, while kerosene has dropped to 154.78 per litre. According to a statement from EPRA, the price reduction is a result of a decrease in the average landed cost of imported petroleum products. The landed cost of super petrol decreased by 0.46% in the last review period. We'll be taking a commercial break. We will be back with the sports news.